Hi, welcome to the Celtic Cast On podcast. I'm coming to you from the beautiful east coast of Canada, and today I'm going to take you for a romp in the woods. Let's go.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day. And everything's going.
We're going on to adventure and we don't know what's in store. We're coming from our camper and we're headed out the door.
One of the things that's been on my list of things to do is visit all of the kissing bridges that are in New Brunswick. And so we came upon this little one today and we're going to have a picnic.
Come to think of it, there's real moose antlers in here too. On the roof.
So this is actually a private bridge made by someone. It's got all kinds of memorabilia inside. It's church pews. Yeah. There's the sleigh, runners for the sleigh. And a little window.
Lushka needs to take the
Here's actually
top off.
the couple that it was built for.
This is Kissing Bridge.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
And like there's that little hornet's nest.
Yeah.
How do they get all these things in here?
Very neat.
Deer antlers. How did they get all these things in this bridge? There he is.
Who's over there? It's the Teletubby. Welcome back. If this is your first time watching the show, thank you for coming to check me out. And if you're returning, I'm glad to have you back. My name is Kelly and you can find me on social media as Celtic Cast On. So as you can see, we had a little romp in the woods back at the homestead, and now we're going to chat about some knitting. So I've got a couple of little housekeeping things I want to talk about first, and then I'll get into showing you what I've been working on. So last episode, there was a winner of the Eldenwood Craft Bag, looked just like this one. And it was who I had pronounced hedge is actually Hege. She is from Norway, and since she has won the bag, she has actually started a podcast. Now, Hege is a very, very awesome colorwork knitter, and I would encourage you to check her out. I'll post right here what her podcast name is. It's Cloudberry Knits. She's always got colorwork on the go, socks, sweaters, kaftas, you name it, she's got it. So you should definitely check her out and show her some love, because she just started, and we all know what it feels like at the very beginning. So I wanted to give her a little shout out. One of the prizes from the knit along that just finished was a set of stitch markers from Owls on Dante's. And they are made by a local to me girl, Leanne, and she has actually kindly offered a coupon code for you. So I'm going to put it right here. It's Celtic 10, and that's going to give you 10% off anything in her shop until the end of September. So until the end of September, you've got quite a couple of months left. If you want to go check out her shop, she's got lots of cool stitch markers and progress keepers there. So definitely check her out. Now, speaking of Leanne, I drew the giveaway winner of the Sherlock Knits book that I talked about in the last episode, and the random number generator pulled out post number 10, who happens to be Lunatic84, and that's Leanne. So Leanne, you're going to get this lovely book, and you can contact me to let me know that you saw this, and we'll arrange to meet and you can get the book. So thanks everyone for entering, and I'm sure I'll have another giveaway soon. So I will jump into FOs. So my first FO, it's kind of going to be in conjunction with a little yarn review. I was contacted by Bijou Basin, and I was asked if I would like to try some of their yarn. Yes, please. So if you don't know who Bijou Basin is, let me just show you this little sticker that came in my package. They sent me a beautiful package. This is their website. My shaky hands. So as it says here, quality yak fibers and yarns. So I had two choices. One of the yarns was a yak and bamboo, and the other one was yak and superfine merino. And while it was a tough choice, I kind of had a project in mind in my head that I thought might be a good choice for it. So I went ahead and I said I would love to try out your Himalayan Trail. So this is Bijou Basin, 75% yak down and 25% superfine merino. And Bijou Basin is a ranch in Colorado, and their website bijoubasinranch.com. So everything's made in the US. So I thought I'd give this a little try. Now, when I got to choose the color and everything, so I chose this really pretty maroon color. Is it gonna come out? Nope. It looks brown, but it's very maroon. It's got a definite purple tinge to it. Anyway, so before I chose it, I was kind of like, I'm expecting yak to be kind of a scratchy yarn. So I wasn't really sure what to expect. And when the skein arrived, it's so soft. Like, you would never know. There's no toothiness to it. There's no prickly fibers that stick up. It's just a plain one strand. It's just a plain, feels like a plain merino yarn, which is kind of cool. So definitely not what I was expecting. So I started off a new project with it. So the pattern that I had in mind was the Boosta Beanie. Now this was a free pattern that was from Shetland Wool Week that probably everybody already knows about, and the designer is Gudrun Johnston. So I thought this would be a great start and base for my hat, since I was going to give it a little test drive. So I had this, and then I actually while I was ordering some other yarn, to get free shipping, I had to order a couple of more skeins. So what I did was I ordered a couple of yarns that I wanted to try that I hadn't already. And those yarns were Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift. Now I already have a skein of this that Claire from New Hampshire Knits sent me, but I haven't used it yet. I think it's a very light green color. So this is a little different. This is Cobalt. So I got this one to try. Now I was expecting this to be a lot itchier than it is. Actually, I don't even find it itchy at all. There's no really, I don't know, I was expecting guard hairs and everything in this for some reason. But there's definitely not. I'm excited because I was expecting it to be a little itchy and maybe not for garments for me, but I'm definitely going to use this in the future. So I tried the Shetland Spindrift. And the other one that I wanted to try was Blacker. Everybody's been talking about Blacker yarns, so I had to see if all the hype was really true or if it was something that wasn't so true. So this is Blacker Classic. And it's, I don't know how to pronounce that, Leland wool with 30% BFL. And again, I was expecting this to be a little more scratchy. I guess I have a BFL, and I don't know if it's 100% pure BFL, but I made a scarf shawl that has BFL in it, and it's very scratchy around my neck. But this is not so much, so I'm very excited about this. So 3 new to me yarns, and this was going to be the color combo for my hat. Yes? Yes. All right, so this was the main color that I was going to use, and then these two is the contrast. I wasn't sure about the blue at first. It looked great when you put them all together, but I wasn't sure there was going to be enough contrast with these two compared to these two. So we give it a go, and ta-da! I happen to have it made up. So this is it. I am so happy with how the colors turned out. The blue is great next to the burgundy, which I was very shocked at. I thought it was going to kind of blend in more, but it looks awesome. So I started with the gray and then worked my way up. Now this has a really cool decrease section on the hat. So that was my boosted beanie. It was so much fun to knit. I love knitting color work. And once I started, that was all I wanted to work on, just to knit it up as quickly as I could. So all of the yarns were wonderful to work with. I can't say a bad thing about any of them. I really enjoyed the yak yarn. I'm still shocked that it's as soft as it is. And I don't even know why, because when you see a yak and their fur is kind of coming off, it does look fluffy. So I'm not really sure why I had that in my head that it was going to be prickly. So I'm very happy with the yarn. I would definitely purchase more for more projects. It would make a great sweater or cardigan. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I need to look on their website to see what other weights of yarn they have. That would be amazing. And the other two, I'm very happy with again. I'm very pleased that I have found some colorwork yarns that I know are going to hold up very well once they're knit. So you can expect some Shetland and Blacker and Bijou Basin in my future for sure. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on. This is my only issue. I wasn't sure if I wanted to put a pom-pom on the back or not. So I left it off for now, and I also wasn't sure what color I wanted to put it in. But here's my issue. It seems really tall at the back. Now, that's my head right there. It's almost like I could have taken out a repeat or so at the end to make it more of a fitted hat. That's kind of what I prefer is more of a fitted hat. Now this also isn't blocked, and I'm always skeptical of blocking hats because they seem to stretch out after you block them, and usually it's perfect after I'm finished knitting it that I don't want to block it anymore. So here's the question for you. What do you think? Should I block it, which would probably make this droop a little bit more in the back, and then it wouldn't look so high up on my head when I don't have it pulled right down? And should I add a pom-pom? What do you think? What color should I add? I'm still undecided at this moment, but I feel like I'm wearing like a too tall hat on my head at the minute. So I'm kind of thinking about blocking it, because it would almost be a little nicer if it was slouchy. Kind of slouched down at the back. I don't know. I'm still very happy with it, and I love the yarn. Love, love, love. So if you have not tried Bijou Basin, I would definitely suggest their Himalayan Trail. Now I'm also curious now to see what this yak and bamboo would be like. But I also wasn't sure what I would knit with yak and bamboo. I'm still not sure what I would knit with yak and bamboo. But yeah, this was a wonderful yarn. I would definitely suggest going to check them out. Now I should say this is 2 ounces, so it's 200 yards in the skein, and I did have quite a bit. I didn't actually weigh this, I should have, but I've got quite a bit left over, and that's going to do some other color work somewhere else, which will be great. But they have some beautiful colors. You should definitely check them out. So there you go, 3 yarns and a new obsession. That's my first F. Now, the reason I chose the Busta Beanie was because I'm not very much into the flowery color work. I'm more of the geometric style color work, which is this Busta Beanie. Like, there are a lot of hats that I love, but they always seem to have a band that has flowers on it, and that's not really me. So this is the winner for sure, but you should definitely give it a go. It's a nice, quick project. All right, the next FO that I was kind of hinting to you about in the last episode is this beauty right here. This is Saunder, and it's by Justina Lorkowska. I can never say her name. I always say Lorkowski, and I think I've been watching too much figure skating when I was younger, because that was all, their last names were Lorkowski at the end. So Justina Lorkowska, I test knit this for her. And this is in Scholar and Stahl. It's Fortisma alpaca. Now it's a 50% merino, 25% nylon, and 25% alpaca. I checked on Ravelry just before I started to record, and I'm very sad that it's discontinued. I bought this yarn quite a few years ago to do a test knit, and it took so long for the yarn to come in that I didn't get to do the test knit. So I've had it for quite a while, and I have it in this color and I have it in a darker gray, but I just love this light gray color. So let me take it off to show you. This beautiful shawl. So here we go. So it's got these beautiful big cables and garter stitch, and the cool thing about it is it's actually reversible because it's got the cables coming through on both sides. I prefer it on this side just because the cables stick out on this side, but it is beautiful, and I have worn it several times already. And it's lovely and warm. I love the drape of it. I think that's what I like the most about it. It feels very light when you have it on, yet it kind of just hangs perfectly. So I was very saddened to know that this is discontinued. I may try and steal a couple more skeins off of Ravelry from somebody's D-stash somewhere. But that is it. I loved knitting this. I must say, I'm thankful that I don't test knit all the time now, because I really don't have the time to test knit. So it was a struggle for me to get it done in the time period, but I did get it done in the time period that it needed to be, and I'm very happy that I did knit it because it's gorgeous. So that's another lovely from Justina, and you're gonna see some more Justina, possibly in later episodes, possibly later on in this one. So let's move on to, oh no wait, I have another half object to show you. All right. So I've been I want to cast on all the things. That's the problem right now. I have so many things that I want to cast on. I also have so many whips that I cannot cast on until I get some of them off my needles. It just seems to be like they're everywhere. So I've been working at my whips slowly but surely. And what I'm kind of doing is taking them one at a time and just plowing through and finishing that one thing and then moving on to the next one. So before I started doing that, I finished this sock. Now, I don't think you saw these at all. I started these last year, and I have had the cuff of them done for well over a year, and it just, lately I have started to knit the actual sock. So these are the pinstripe socks, and they're by Julia Swart, and this yarn is Knit Picks Felici, I say Felici, in the colorway Splash. Now, these socks were knit on circulars. I don't tend to knit on circulars, I tend to knit on DPNs all the time. So this was something new for me. And I decided while I was at my LYS lately that I would grab a set of the 9-inch circulars. I've been seeing them so much and hearing people say good things about them that I decided I would grab a pair and try them out. So when I got to my LYS, the lady said that I should try the 12-inch circulars. I don't know if I have them over here or not. Do I have them? I don't have them with me. What did I do with them? Ah, that's annoying. Very annoying indeed. Very, very annoying indeed. Circular needles, where are you? I'll just have to talk about them. So the 12-inch circulars have a bend in them. So, pardon me. The 9-inch circulars are just kind of regular needle, and then it goes into your cord, and then a regular little tiny needle. So the 12 inches have a definite bend in each side of the needle. Now, 12-inch circular is a bigger circumference than the 9-inch circular, yes? But she said, it stretches it out, but once you knit it, it kind of pulls it back in. So I'm like, okay, well, I like the idea of the bend, so I will try the 12s and see how we go. So I brought them home, and I sat for an inordinate time trying to knit 2 stitches on these dang needles. So I persevered, and I knit this whole sock in the 12-inch circular, but I will not be knitting the next sock in the 12-inch circular. So my findings are, they were chow goos for a start, which I like the needle itself. The tip is kind of more pointy than what I'm used to, and I use my finger to push my needle back, and it was kind of leaving dents in my fingers, so that may have been an issue later on, but I did like the needle a lot. So I found that my sock is stretchier, wider than I would usually knit them because of the circumference of those needles. So I almost contemplated knitting the second sock on the 12-inch as well so that they would be the same fit, but I can't. It took so long for me to knit this sock. Like this is a vanilla sock almost. It should have taken me no time at all, and I spent so much time knitting this. So 12 inches are out the door. If you would like to try 12-inch circulars for some other project, don't try them for socks. Get in touch. They're 2.25. I would like to try the 9-inch ones, but I don't think I'll be going back to grab them anytime soon. So anyway, this is my first sock. I'm not sure if these will become socks for my mom, if she'll even wear this colorway. It's kind of bright. But we'll see how the second sock goes and see how the fit is after that. So that's my hoe. All right, so let's move on and we'll talk about some whips. So I have 2 whips right now that I've been working on. The first one is basically what's been getting all of my attention. So I just told you that I have decided that I'm going to pick up a whip and I'm going to just work on it until it's complete, and then I'm going to pick up the next one and work on it until it's complete. And that seems to be what's working the best for me, and it always has worked the best for me. So I don't really know how I got into this starting all the things and trying to work on all the things at the same time. It doesn't work well for me. Usually 2, possibly 3 projects is best. All right, so let's talk about this. So this is, oh, I should show you the picture. I'm almost finished it, so it's, see if I can get, so you don't see the pattern. So this is the Herbarium Shawl by Malia Designs. I love that blue. All right, so I am knitting it in a big tangled mess. I am knitting it in Knit Picks Stroll undyed, and it was then overdyed by Dynamics Yarns for me into this beautiful gray. And the red is Volmizer that I was sent by a lovely friend. See if I can get this up so you can see it. And the red on the screen seems to be coming out a lot brighter than it is. Red always does that, doesn't it? So this is where I'm at. I'm on my last section of mosaic knitting, which is this, which is actually very fun to knit. And then I will just have to do the end. But this is the larger side. It doesn't get smaller than this. It just finishes off the same length of row. So I'm really enjoying knitting this, and I'm really enjoying that I'm almost finished so I can wear it. This is gonna look stunning with the jean jacket. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So that's the one whip that I'm working on right now, and I'm hoping to have it done by the weekend, so things should progress quickly once I get through that chart. I'm knitting them on my Knit Picks needles. I have an interchangeable set. Now, the one thing, Knit Picks needles aren't perfect, but I don't think any needles are perfect. But with this one tip, for some reason, you can see the both of them here. On this tip right here, it seems to have worn down on one side. I don't know what I was doing, but it's not smooth anymore. So it's kind of a little annoying. This one's smooth, but this one is has a bump on the side. So that's what I'm knitting them on. Now I should mention, I didn't have the right size needle in my interchangeable set. It doesn't go down far enough to knit this with it. And I do have a backup of old clover needles that I bought when I first started knitting. And so I pulled a circular out of that to knit this shawl on. Should not have done that. Oh my goodness, it was torture. I literally threw the needles out when I was finished. The join is horrible. I was constantly like knitting a couple of stitches and then pushing as hard as I could to get them over it. Not worth the bother. So I may be investing in a couple of the smaller size circular needles shortly to save my sanity. All right, so that's one whip. The other whip, obviously I'm going to be knitting the other sock of this at some point, but the only other whip that I have is my Aztec socks, and these are by Frisbee Knits. Now, I haven't got too far on this, but I know once I just bog down and get knitting on this by itself, it's going to be done in no time. Ah, there's my other needle. Now, see what the best way is to show you. Here we go. So this is my Aztec sock so far. It's very crinkly. So I had it balled up, but I don't know if I'm done the gusset or not. I don't think I am. I think I have a little bit to go. I've got to check my numbers again, but maybe I did finish the gusset. It's got a beautiful eye of partridge heel. And yeah, like I said, once I get started back on this, it's going to fly off the needles, and the second one's going to fly off too. The only thing is this corrugated ribbing, it doesn't give you very much stretch, and I did do it on a larger needle, but it's still quite tight. So I don't know if they're going to come up as far as they are supposed to, but I'm enjoying knitting these, and I can't wait to have them done because I have other colorwork socks on the in my brain to work on next. Great, I just dropped some stitches. Let me just pick these up. So after my shawl is finished, these will be the next, I think. So those are my whips. Now, I have some sewing to talk about, so let's move in to sew what. I was working on a quilt top, and since then I kind of went gangbusters and finished the quilt top. Kind of one of those whips that was hanging around that I needed to get done quickly. So I finished the quilt top. Now I still have to sandwich it and figure out a backing, but right now I'm happy to have the top done. So let me show you what it looks like. You're not going to be able to see it all because it's pretty big. To get an idea, so you get an idea of what it looks like. It was fun to put together, and once I cut my tubes open that you saw in the last episode, it flew. It just took me time to kind of sew them all into lines and then sew them together. But I did it all in the span of 1, maybe 2 days because I had it set out on the floor exactly the way I wanted it. So I had no choice but to sew it up quickly because the kids are always in the playroom playing, obviously. So I did learn something while I was sewing this up. Now, normally you would stack the seams, which means that when you're sewing them here, you would want to make sure that one of your seams was flipped open one way and one of your seams was flipped open the other way so that they stack nicely together, and then when you sew them, it doesn't leave a big bulk underneath. My issue was that I had these white pieces that I was sewing to my seams, and I know that you're supposed to iron to the dark side always, so that's what I did. I ironed to the dark side where all the patterning was. But then if you want to stack the seams, a dark seam coming into your white. So I didn't actually stack on most of it. I just tried to get them as closely as possible just so that I could keep the white looking really white and fresh and not having the dark colors behind it. So I'm super excited that this is done. This again is the Summer at the Beach pattern, and it's by England Street Quilts, and it's a free pattern that's on Craftsy that you can pick up. So I used a Vintage Picnic is this pattern. It's a Moda Jelly Roll, Vintage Picnic, and this one is just a plain white Moda Basics Jelly Roll. So 2 jelly rolls and it's done. Originally I wanted to use, I have an idea that I want to use this as a picnic blanket, and I thought, oh, I don't know if I want to use all this white as a picnic blanket, but then I thought if I use a dark backing, that would be on the grass and it wouldn't be so noticeable if I got a stain or something on it. So this was the fabric that I wanted, and I was going to use this for the backing. Of course, do you think you can get any of these fabrics in backing amounts anywhere? Most of it is sold out everywhere, and I can get a couple of them, like this one. So I haven't decided what I wanted to do on the back yet. Originally I was going to just put this fabric the whole way across. Now I'm kind of thinking I want to branch out a little bit and do something kind of funky on the back. Maybe two different, maybe a panel up the middle, maybe a panel off-centered with something different. I still have some of these left, although they would be different colors that I didn't use in the jelly roll. I'm not sure. So for now, this is just going to be set aside. I have a teacher gift to work on that's going to be sewing. I'm going to make a table runner, hopefully quickly when the fabric arrives. And I have another quilt that I want to start right away too. So I'm happy to have this just as the quilt top for now and move on whenever I get the time and the fabric. So the other thing I have in sewing is this cute little jacket that I got actually for T before she was born because I thought she was going to be a boy. But this is very Moose. This is something Moose would wear if it was in a larger size. So I thought it fits the baby well, except for this. Look at this. How short is that arm? Like, is that for a T-Rex? I mean, I don't know what 12-month-old would have that short of an arm. So while the body fits him, the sleeves are just ridiculous. So here's my thought. I'm wondering, can I take that sleeve right off? Like, look, it seems to be all bound there. I'm wondering if I can just go inside and unpick this and take the sleeve off. And I'm wondering if I can just leave that the way it is. I can make it into a vest. I really want him to wear it because it fits him right now. And it would probably fit him into the fall. So a vest could be an option, especially if I have a hoodie underneath of it or whatever. So I'm wondering if I can take it off. I might have to re-sew it again to seam it up. But I'm thinking it's doable. Shocking, I know. This is never something I would never have thought of doing before, but it looks like it's doable. So I'm going to give that a go, maybe, and see if I can fix this into something that he will wear and look uber cute in. So that's all I have for So What. I have a little update about the auction, so let's talk about that. All right, so the auction, I talked about the auction last episode that we held for Elena. The auction was a smashing success. We raised over 5,000 Canadian dollars for Elena. Elena is in Canada. So the exchange rate kind of worked in our favor. It was a little over 4,000 and it turned out to be 5,000 Canadian. I got something in the auction and I'm super excited. There were quite a few gradients and mini bundles that I had my eye on, but this is the one that I won, and I'm very excited because I've wanted to try his yarn since he opened shop, and I've talked about him before, and it's Martin's Lab. This is Justina Lurkowska's husband, Letty's Knits, and this is a beautiful little mini bundle. It's 100% superwash 1-ply merino. So, Martin's Lab, mini bundle. I'm so excited for this. How gorgeous are these colors? Gorgeous. It doesn't have a colorway name. It just says number 15. But I'm super excited that I won this, and I can't wait to use it. I've been thinking about shawls, and originally I kind of thought On the Spice Market by Melanie Berg, but you need a lot more yardage than what these are. These are 20 gram minis, 90 yards. 80 yards. And so I don't have enough for that. There's also a Justina pattern that I'm kind of playing around with maybe. I don't know yet, but I know that it's going to be a shawl, and I know it's going to be gorgeous, and I know I'm going to want more of this yarn. So Martin's Lab, check them out. The last thing I have to talk to you today is about a product review. Since we're coming into summer, I thought I would give you a little review on some sunscreen that I've been using for the past couple of years. A couple of years ago, I kind of was looking at what effects sunscreen, regular sunscreen on the market had on you, and I decided I was going to look into some natural sunscreen products that would possibly be better for your health. So I came across this one. This one I've been using for 2 years, and it's called Butterbean Organic. So this will be the 3rd year that I've used it. So it's an SPF 30, and it's made with shea butter, coconut oil, and zinc oxide. Now, this one, it's a 7 ounce. So you can get it in this 7 ounce, and you can get it in this 3 ounce. You can also get it in a spray bottle. Now, I chose this one because I figured it would probably go on and stay on better than the spray would. And when I open it up and show you, you kind of see why. It's very thick. Won't pour out. It's that thick. And it's kind of gritty. There's not much of a smell, but there is a little hint of a scent. I don't know what it even would smell like. I guess it's the shea butter. I don't know. So this is water resistant, and I'm just going to show you. This is going to get messy. This one's actually pretty hard. So I'm going to show you how in the summertime, like when you're out in the sun with this little bottle, it does get quite liquidy. But we're kind of chilly here still. It's still kind of hard. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when you put it on. Okay, so it's white. You rub it on, and you kind of are left with this white glow. So no matter how much I rub it on, it stays white. And that's kind of what it's supposed to do. It's kind of supposed to block the sun's rays, right? So that's the first one. So you can kind of see I'm more pastier than I normally am. So this is water resistant for 80 minutes. Now I have used this at the beach. I have applied it. I haven't need to reapply it at all, actually. I put it on once, and it has not burnt us since I've used it. And I've only had to apply it once during the day. But that's because you can still see it. So I guess once you can't see it anymore, you would reapply more. But definitely, I have not got burnt at the beach. And I burn easily. I was out in the yard last week, and I have burnt the top of my forehead. I don't know if you can see or the top of my head. I don't know if you can see if it's red here, but I burn very easily. So this was a great find to know that I'm not going to burn, especially when I'm at the beach, because that will be the time that I would burn. So Butterbean Organics, this original one I got to try out right from Butterbean, and I'll put their link down here. And this one I found actually on Amazon, so they do sell through Amazon now. Original that I bought and tried and works very well. So the second one, we were in PEI last summer, and I came across right beside where our motel was a little store called the Great Canadian Soap Company. They have a product called Bite Me Not. Now this comes in a body mist, and it also comes in a cream, which is a sunscreen as well as a bug spray in liquid form. So you can get the bug spray alone, and then you can get this. So the lady spoke very highly of it, and I thought, well, what the heck, we'll give it a try. So this one is a lot more creamy. Now, I have had this jar since last June. That is how much we have used as a family. Well, me and the 2 kids. So it goes a long way. Now this smells wonderful because it has the bug repellent on it. The ingredients are grapeseed oil, beeswax, zinc oxide, lemongrass, citronella, cedarwood, rosemary essential oils, grapeseed extract, vitamin E, and rosemary extract. So it smells wonderful. Now this one is very creamy, and I'm just going to put it on this side. Whew. Now this one soaks into the skin a lot more. It's a little more oily than this one is, but it does soak in. So this one, you won't look like a pasty ghost if you wear it out. This one, you will, but you also won't get sunburnt. So this one I've been using since last June. The bug deterrent is amazing. We used it actually when you saw us out on the bike. We used it then. The black flies were horrendous. They were just swarms of them flying around our heads. We didn't get bit once, not once. So it is an amazing bug deterrent, and it seems to work as a sunscreen. Now the only thing is, I have to reapply this one. It doesn't seem to be as thick and sun blocking as the butterbean is. But they're both great options and both something that I can use at different times. So this is the Great Canadian Soap Company. They do have a website and you can order from them, and they're right in Brackley Beach in PEI. So I would highly recommend any of these products. If you do give them a go, let me know what you think. And it's a great alternative, I guess, to regular sunscreen. So I think that's all I have for this week. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed our little romp in the woods today. I'm sure I'll have more footage of different adventures that we go on in the future, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks. Bye.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands.